Hello, and good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are, and a very warm welcome to this briefing delivered to you by GP Strategies. This session will provide you with details about the latest innovations in the SAP SuccessFactors suite and also provide you with recommendations from GP Strategies. If you have any questions related to what we talk about or any concerns, please do reach out to us. We are here to help you. The agenda and purpose for this briefing is as follows. Following a short introduction, we will walk through the key features introduced with the latest release. For each item, we try to provide context for you so you can understand the impact, and we will also provide you our take on the feature. Please remember that not all companies are using all system features, and there can be reasons why a certain feature has been set up the way it has for your company. If you need specific advice on how a feature may be used in your specific solution, please reach out to us. Before we start, and in case you did not know about GP Strategies from before, we want you to know that we're a 4,500 headcount company. We are focused on learning and development and related human resources topics. We have done so for more than 50 years. For SAP SuccessFactors, our team consists of more than 175 specialists covering all SAP SuccessFactors modules. We have SuccessFactors specialists in more than 13 countries throughout Europe, Americas, and the Middle East. Our experience covers single module implementations as well as full suite implementations covering all major regions worldwide, as well as application management, report development, and support services. When we staff our client engagements, we always look for the best combination serving the client interests, and will pull resources from different locations to establish the best team. GP Strategies has a unique history combining deep domain knowledge in the human capital management area and technical competencies. We have been working with SAP SuccessFactors for more than 15 years, and we are recognized by SAP as a partner that delivers on our promise. We have maintained SAP recognized expertise in all SuccessFactors areas, which is a proof that we continue to deliver high quality. We have also been acknowledged by SAP as certified as application management service provider for SAP SuccessFactors. Our partnership with SAP has a Gold Partner status, which is another quality stamp that you can rely on. Our SAP SuccessFactors track history is unmatched and topped with strong project management skills and a dedicated application management and support team. You are in safe hands with us. Now, let's get started with the release briefing.
Starting with the major enhancements for the H2 2020 release briefing. The first major enhancement is migrate all instances to Granular role-based permission model. So this has been mentioned in quite a few of the previous releases. SAP have now retired the old role-based permission model, and everyone will now be on the Granular role-based permission model. What this means is that you are now able to grant permissions to individual elements of the templates. So, for example, if you want an admin to be able to launch the forms or to upload lookup tables, you can grant access without giving them access to the other elements of the template, such as the guidelines, the budget information, column design, etc. New experience for the variable pay view. With this change, SAP have introduced an improved version of the individual view. You can see from the top screenshot on the right that this is the old view of the report, and it could be slightly confusing and isn't necessarily nice to look at. Whereas the new improved version at the bottom, it shows a payout comparison between the actual and target in a graphical representation for each plan, which allows employees to consume their data easily. There are some prerequisites to use this. You will need to enable the enhanced individual pay view in Company Settings. To provide access through Homepage, ensure that you have User Employee Data Edit/View permission for the Variable Pay Individual View item. To provide access through People Profile, ensure that you have the User Employee Data Edit View permission for Variable Pay Individual View item, and also the User Employee Views Edit View permission for the specific section where the Variable Pay Individual View block is configured. So this slide gives you the configuration items that you would need to enable this. In Company Settings, you will see the checkbox for the Enhanced Individual Pay View. Once this is ticked, you will then be able to select the items in role-based permissions for the Variable Pay Individual View. There is also a data model change to give access to the individual view page. Eligibility rules supported for custom fields in compensation worksheets. With this one, you now have the option of selecting custom fields to use in your form eligibility. You'll see a new checkbox in the column designer. On the screenshot at the bottom, it shows the Enable Rules Eligibility box that will allow that custom field to be used as part of eligibility. You can assign up to 20 custom fields to be used, and they can be money, amount, string, date, decimal, and percent fields. The reportable checkbox must also be enabled to use them in the eligibility rules. On the screenshot on the right, you'll see that we have a custom merit field that has been checked, and it can then be used to either allow or disallow access to the editable field. If you have budgets based on percentages of custom fields, now the budget calculation takes eligibility into consideration. Previously, the budget calculation didn't take eligibility into consideration, and customers had to implement complex workarounds to calculate their budgets. Maximum number of employees per compensation worksheet page raised to 100. So this allows you to increase the number of employees that you can view in the worksheet on one page. So previously the maximum was 50, and you can now set it to show up to 100 employees on the same page. Also, the system now allows you to decrease the number of employees. So before you could set the maximum to 20, but you didn't have the option in the drop-down to change this to 10 per page. So now if you open with 20 employees, you can also select 10, 50 or 100 as the number of employees on the page. On the screenshot, you'll see that this has also been brought into the admin UI and is on the Display Settings tab of the template. Previously, this number had to be configured directly into the XML. New program type, thank you. As part of the Reward and Recognition module, employees can now create non-monetary awards or appreciation messages to their peers. As there are not budget guidelines or currency configurations to make on the award program, it's easy and quick to configure. As you can see on the screenshot, this is a new program type. Updated Reward and Recognition homepage and nomination process. There has been an update to how you nominate someone for an award. There are now new pages for the homepage, award history, and team award history. This is just the look of the page that has been updated. The award process is relatively the same. The only change is that you now nominate the employee first and then award program rather than the other way around. There is now a next button. The system doesn't automatically take you to the next step. First, you select the employee you want to nominate for an award, then select the award program. In the lower right part of the page is the Next button. You select Next to move to the next step in the nomination process. Now moving on to the minor enhancements. Compensation statement notifications on home page. You can now access your compensation statement on the home page. You can see the screenshot. There is now a new tile that holds a link to the statement. The notification will last for 30 days and you can trigger them by a specific user, a list of users, or by users attached to a statement template. You'll generate the statements in the usual place. However, you have the option of generating an email notification, as we have done previously, or with the homepage notification. Statements are not accessible through homepage notifications if you've either recalled the statement or changed the existing viewing permissions after triggering the notifications. And this will work with all compensation statement types. Role-based permission to send notifications. Previously, you could only send statement notifications through emails, and you had to enable the Manage Email Notifications for Statement Generation permission. With homepage notifications for statements and bonus plans, SAP have renamed Manage Email Notification for Statement Generation to Send Personal Statement and Bonus Plan Notifications, and this is in the Manage Compensation and VarPay permission category. You'll see on the screenshot that this is located in Role-Based Permissions in Manage Compensation and VarPay section, and then Send Personal Statement and Bonus Plan Notifications should be checked. Rename Send Email Notification option. So now we have a new tab that is called Manage Notifications. Previously, as you can see on the top screenshot, that we used to go into the Reward Statement tab and selected the Send Email Notification from the drop-down. That has now been moved to the new Manage Notifications tab that you can see on the bottom screen and is now called Personal Statement Notifications. New layouts for statement templates. You now have the option of selecting where you would like the layout of the statement. Previously, you only had the option of showing statements reading left to right, and now you can change that to read right to left, for example, if you're producing Arabic statements. This is on the standard statements that you can download from the Success Store. You can also place the fields from the compensation forms below the text instead of to the right. This change is available for compensation, variable pay, and also the combined statements. Auto-completion of worksheet search box within compensation plan activity audit. For the plan activity audit information, the system now filters the results based on what you type into the search box. Previously, you had to scroll down the full list of worksheets, which could be time-consuming if you had a large number of worksheets launched. You can see on the top screenshot that this is what you would see if you went into the audit. The drop-down contains all of the worksheets launched. On the bottom screenshot, you can see that when you type in Verouche, it shows the two worksheets that are launched that contain the text Verouche. Compensation provisioning settings available on Company Settings page. With this change, you're now able to make more changes through the admin UI. The ones that you can see on the screenshot in the table on the left show the configurations that previously had to be done through provisioning and most probably by your SAP partner. Now you're able to make these changes directly into the template through the UI. On the screenshot on the right, it shows these settings, which are located in the Company Settings tab in Actions for All Plans. For example, you can now include the uCalc widgets in the worksheets without having to update the setting in provisioning. You can enable or disable the compensation profile. So this is where you're able to click onto the employee name in the worksheet and it opens up the compensation profile that gives a different view of the compensation information. These will be available to anyone who has the role-based permission to company settings within compensation. Currency views availability field added to compensation plans. As you can see from the screenshots, previously you couldn't specify which currency view was defaulted when the worksheets were opened. However, you now have the option of the default currency view, and you can specify if this should be user local currency or planner currency. You can also specify if the import file for the UDF is in local or functional currency. This is not applicable for EC integrated templates. This functionality was brought through in previous releases for variable pay plans and total compensation plans. And with this release, they are now bringing it through for the compensation plans. Sort Executive Review List of Templates. This is a change to how you can view your list of templates in the Executive Review section. You can change alphabetic or reverse alphabetic order. The reason for this change is that some customers may have numerous templates and the most recent may be at the bottom of a long list. Not forgetting that you can also limit the templates that you see in Executive Review by role-based permissions. So if you no longer want to see a template from 5 years ago, for example, you can limit the access to which templates you can see in Executive Review. You can see on the screenshot that you would click on the arrow next to plan name and the order would be changed. Support for custom MDF objects names with multiple underscores. The change with this one is that now compensation can pick up MDF objects that have multiple underscores in the name. Previously, the system was unable to pick these up. XML attributes for compensation added to display settings page. Enable budget override is supported for compensation and total compensation only. Again, SAP have brought more configurations into the admin UI that previously could only be changed through provisioning. These are in the Plan Setup tab of the template and then Display Settings. You can change the default sorting of the worksheet. In the screenshot, you can see that it will sort by name and in ascending order. This is something I mentioned earlier for the number of employees to show per page. And then finally, the display format and color bar for compa ratio or range penetration benchmarks. You can set them to display percentage or number, and if you would like the color bar to show or not. Configure compensation worksheets to display multiple columns for collapsed groups. Previously, we could specify one column that would be the main column to show if you wanted to have your sections collapsed when the worksheet is first opened. Now you're able to specify more than one column to show if the section is collapsed. On the screenshot, you'll see that employee information section is collapsed, but they show 3 columns in the collapsed view: job code, job title, and grade. On the bottom screenshot, you can see in the section configuration, you now have a drop-down of columns within that section that you can select from. Job owner added to monitor compensation jobs page. This change has now added the job owner to the monitor compensations jobs page. On the top screenshot, the job owner wasn't available, but on the bottom screenshot, you can now see who submitted the job. Reorganization of Update Worksheets section on Manage Worksheets page. This one is just a reorganization of the Manage Worksheets tab in the template. Previously, as you can see on the top screenshot, that the order ran down the page and now it runs across the page. This is to limit the scrolling that has to be done. Select all employees from move and delete lists on compensation forms. When you go to move or delete employees from a worksheet, you had to manually delete or move them one by one. Now you're able to select multiple employees to process at one time, making it much quicker. Updated display of budget information in total compensation. This change is only on the total compensation templates. It has now been brought into line with compensation and variable pay. In the budget box displays the percent column in the total section and not against each budget grouping. As you can see on the top screenshot, the total box shows both amount and percent, and the groupings only show the amount. Updated recall compensation statements confirmation message. The change on this one is to provide more detail when you are recalling statements. In the job details, you will now be able to see how many statements have been recalled. Multi-select filtering supported within compensation when publishing employees in Employee Central. Previously, when publishing data back to Employee Central, you could filter by one value for the selected filter within the template. On the top screenshot, you'll see that we could only filter on one country. This had limitations if you wanted to publish by multiple countries by region. You can now filter by multiple entries. On the bottom screenshot, you'll see that we are selecting by departments and we are able to select talent and engineering at the same time. Cropping editor added to reward and recognition image uploads. This is within the reward and recognition module, and it now provides an image cropper. So if you're uploading images for the home page, for example, you can crop the image before saving it. Configuration of calculated pay range on the basis of post-promotion information. You can now set the attribute of the final pay range when using promotions in the compensation module. Previously, this had to be set directly into the XML, and now you're able to make the changes in the admin UI. When someone is promoted, the system previously referenced the old pay range information, but now you can set it to look at, for example, as you can see in the screenshot, final job function, so that the correct pay range information after the promotion is read. Bonus notifications on home page. You can now send notifications of an employee's bonus plans that shows payment information to them on their home page. This setting is on the new tab within the template called Manage Notifications. The employee will receive the notification on their home page in the tile, and they can access the information for up to 30 days from when the notification was sent. There are prerequisites that the new home page should be enabled and some role-based permissions also. Something to note is that this feature is not currently available for the total compensation templates. Updated compensation eligibility ad hoc and people analytics reports. As the release has included custom fields that can be used in eligibility rules, the eligibility ad hoc and people analytics reports have been changed. You can now only select one template to report on for eligibility, and this is because the custom fields are applicable to individual templates, and therefore reporting across multiple templates may cause data corruption issues. Promotion planning and job selector within compensation template. A new parameter, Enable Promotion Planning, has been added to each template's settings page. When checked, the system sets the promotion attributes for the template. Previously, this could only be configured directly into the XML, but now you're able to update it in the admin UI. Once this is enabled, you will be able to include promotions into the compensation template. Static permission groups added to field-based permissions. You're now able to create static field-based permission groups as well as dynamic. You can add, edit, and delete individual users from the group by using an Excel spreadsheet. You'll see on the top screenshot that this is the old look of the template and the tab is called Manage Dynamic Groups. On the bottom screenshot, this is how it looks now. The tab is called Manage Compensation Groups. Promotion data available in compensation report. In previous releases, you couldn't generate system reports of promotion information from Employee Central. You needed to manually go employee by employee through your worksheets to review promotion information, which could be time-consuming for large groups of employees. You can now export data from Employee Central for EC-enabled templates and from job selector fields within compensation for worksheets that aren't EC-enabled. You can see from the screenshot that the promotion report can be run from Manage Worksheets under Compensation Reports. Role-based permission to control imports of executive review information. You can now control who has access to import into executive review. If you have the export functionality, you would be granted access to import the information back into executive review. Now you can control this through role-based permissions. You can see from the screenshot that the permission is in User Permission, Compensation and Variable Pay, and then Executive Review, Import Compensation and Variable Pay. You can also allow this access by template.
That was the end of this release briefing by GP Strategies. We hope you enjoyed it and got good value from it. In case you have any questions or concerns, please do reach out to us for more guidance and clarification. Please also visit our homepage to view other release briefings. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.